are now officially live. Welcome if this is your first time watching my video, or welcome back if you're coming from the PGX video I just did. GTK Comic already here even before I started. Always good to see you, sir. One of my moderators waving hello and giving a thumbs up. Triple thumbs up. Always appreciated. Thank you and welcome. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And every month I send 2 books to EGS to get graded. I've only been doing it almost about a year now, and definitely doing well with them. Very happy with their service. I want to make sure um, that I give shout outs, and also full disclosure. Same thing with PGX. With EGS, I do not have a contract signed. I am under no obligation to be limited in what I can say. I do not get paid by them. They allow me to get 2 books to be sent in to get graded, press, dry, clean, signature verification if need be. Um, Absolutely free. Otherwise, of course, I have to pay for the shipping and everything, which is thoroughly understandable. And they get the benefit of hopefully gaining a new customer. But I want to make sure you guys as well get benefits, because they not only give you 1, but 2 different benefits for using my We Love Comics code and using EGS. If you send 10 books to EGS Comics, you have to mention it in the order form and use the code We Love Comics. You can get one of the books pressed for free and $5 off your first order. But you do have to mention both of these if you want to get those discounts, and use the code We Love Comics. So, same as the other video, when you're getting one of the books pressed for free, unless you specify which one you're going to have pressed, they will just randomly pick one. So I highly recommend you ask which book to get pressed, unless you just don't care. So while we're waiting people to come in, if you want to critique my thumbnail of my AI art, always appreciate your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. I'll leave that up to you. The shout out to my Patreon members. If you want to join my Patreon at patreon.com/we love comics, no matter what amount you contribute, which could be the minimum of $2, which is the minimum for anybody's Patreon, or whatever amount you want to put in, you'll get a shout out in every single video. Now, I always use the name that's provided on the Patreon without, of course, giving somebody's last name away. I'm not going to give somebody's personal information out. But if you would prefer, instead of me just shouting out your first name or first name and last initial, if you want me to shout out a social network page or something like that, just let me know at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and I have no problem with doing that. So shout out to Carl Sith, Scott, Michael B, Kevin W, James R, Dan L, Kim N, Annabelle N, Jason B, Steve L. If you have Facebook, check out Darth Bleak at Stephen L. Turk Author. Wrote a book. Hopefully you'll go check it out. And if you have Instagram, go check out Silver Age Surfer _comics. Well, tell them all We Love Comics sent you. If we get to 20 paid members each month, I got giveaways that I'm going to give away. I will pay for the shipping, and it will not be restricted to just people in the United States. Anybody around the world that's watching, whether you're living in Canada, whether you're living in Spain, whether you're living in Japan, first of all, congratulations if you're watching my channel and you're from some other country. If you're in some other country besides the United States of America Corporation, post in the comment section where you're from. Now, obviously, don't post the full address of yours, but tell everybody what country you're from. Let's see where most of my viewers are. And again, I will pay for the shipping to mail it out. Now, there is no minimum for the contest, like I said, other than the minimum to enter to join anybody's Patreon, which is $2 a month. But for every $2 you put in, you'll get an entry. So the more you put in, the more entries when the contest happens. So if you want to pause that to see the giveaways, please do. And again, I'm looking to do some trades. I would love to acquire any of these books. I own only one of these books, which I didn't get via trade, but I got a good deal um, about 2 months ago on one of these books. But I would love to acquire these books via trade, or any book that you don't see here that you think I might like, at least mention, where 2 parties don't have to spend thousands of dollars to acquire books. You don't have to spend literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars in taxes if you're buying on eBay or a comic book store, for example. And these are not taxable at the end of the year, because trades are not eligible for taxes when you file your taxes. So contact me again, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com, and let's make that happen. So also Pino back again. Welcome. Florence Chestnut, another one of my moderators. She has been listening to me for years. Hopefully, dear, you are doing well. Always appreciate you here. So let's show the two books. This one will be a little bit quicker because I won't be going over what happened during Hurricane Helene. If you want to know about that, you can watch the other video that I just posted. But it was fun, but I say that facetiously. So, all right, so the first book we've got Incredible Hulk number 377, first appearance of Professor Hulk. This one is not only a newsstand, but it is a Mark Jewelers variant. Really looking forward to seeing what grade this will be. Again, this is another book that has a couple of wrinkles that do not break color. So this one could be a wider range of what I think the grade could be. Because remember, when I do my grade prediction, I always base it on what not what the book looks like now, but what I think it will be after pressing and dry cleaning. So I don't see any color break increases, but I do see an indent all the way up and down the spine, which means somebody put this, like for example, like this without one of these top loaders and stacked a bunch of books over it. So because there's going to be more of a rounded edge this side because of the staples, it's going to leave that little concave indent, but it doesn't break color. So without a pressing, this book would probably be about a 6, maybe a 7. But everything else, I mean, especially with a book, I always love these colors. The pink goes really good with the neon green. Now, the corners are sharp. I don't see any color break increases or ticks along the spine. So I'm predicting this book after pressing and dry cleaning could be anywhere between an 8.5 to maybe up to even a 9.6. Now, could it get a 9.8? Maybe, but I don't want to assume with this because again, it has a lot of pressable defects. You could see even with that, that's actually not on the actual comic, luckily. This was wrapped in bubble wrap, and you could see the indents, but that's just on the bag and board. But there's a couple of non-break color break increases, but again, all the way up and down the spine, but it does not break color. So can it get a 9.8? Possibly. Um, even though it's been about a year with EGS, I haven't dealt with them long enough to get a complete analysis of how they do their pressings and dry cleanings. But so far, so good. But like I said, they have in-house pressings and dry cleanings. You guys know me. I love the Mark Jewelers variants because they're 5 to 7% of a total print run. And I only paid with shipping and handling and taxes. I paid $22.47 for this book, off white to white pages. So especially when it comes to a Mark Jewelers variant, now, this, of course, is a minor key. Professor Hulk has already been in the MCU, but for that price for a Mark Jewelers variant, especially if it gets a 9 or higher, I'm going to definitely do well on a book I spent $22 on. All right, so second book. This is a book I have 20 copies of. Most of them are still in the sections that I have literally shelves. I'll show you of comics that have been that I've bought over the years, some as old as back when I lived in New York, that I've never opened. I probably have at least 15 to 20 of this particular book. Sorry. Um, and I highly recommend getting it because you can get it cheap. Now, will it ever see something in the MCU? Who knows? Hard to say. It's part of an X-Men team, and you'll understand that once you see it. Excalibur #1. This is their first appearance. I forget the name of this book. It does not say here, but there is also the one to get is the newsstand variant where there is no price. It's actually an error variant. I have a few of those, but this one is dual signed by Chris Claremont and Alan Davis. Now, at first, it's easy again, as you saw with the other, and just to show you, because like I said, I have many of these. This is from my PGX that I'm sending in. Look at the signature there. And you can see the signature here. They look pretty identical. So again, I've had several of these by Chris Claremont, so his look, very similar. And then I was trying to look for the Alan Davis. I even looked on the first page until I realized it's actually really small right here at the bottom, just below Chris Claremont's signature. So this is the first appearance of Excalibur. When I was in college, when I went to Stonianta, and if you know what college that actually is, because it's not really called Stonianta, but if you've ever been there, let me know. Um, while I was there, I got a couple of I did monthly subscriptions with Marvel to have mail coming to me when I was in college, and Excalibur is one of them. Absolutely loved the Davis run of Excalibur, so I always fell in love with it. And as you can see, there are some X-Men characters in here, like for example, right there, we have Phoenix, Kitty Pryde. But you also have some of the British characters. I forget her name if anybody knows it. But I used to love these monsters. I love how they were drawn. But this is Excalibur's first appearance. Now, it's not the first appearance of any of these characters, but it's the first appearance of the team. Dual signed with the signatures. I paid with shipping and handling and taxes a grand total of $15. So even though this isn't one of the variants, this is 9.8 potentials, but like I said, I never guarantee that this will be a 9.8. So I always say between 9.4 and a 9.8 off-white to white pages to get a dual signed version. And yes, Megan, very nice. I haven't heard that name since I dated a girl named Megan back in like 92. That was a horror show. Pretty Italian girl, but definitely was not playing with a full deck, so we say. But for $15 for a possible 9.8 dual signed, to me, it's a no-brainer. The time to buy books is not when there's an announcement, not when the book is at its peak of value, not when everybody wants it. It's to pick it up when you can buy it cheap, when nobody wants it. So even if it doesn't end up ever seeing the light of day in a movie or a TV show, you didn't spend an arm and a leg. So if they never make Excalibur, $15 for a dual signed, oh, I'm not going to lose my shirt on that one. And trust me, you don't want to see me without my shirt on. I don't even think my wife does, but that's a story for another time. So those are the two books. Hey, at least you know I'm not a narcissist. I'm very humble. But those are the two books. Excalibur. This is not Excalibur #1. I think it's called the Sword in the something like the Sword in the Stone or something like that. But it's the first ever appearance of Excalibur. If any of these characters, especially even if Captain Britain ends up in the MCU, which has been rumored for a while, books like this may see a little bit of a bump. But again, with it being dual signed and potential 9.8 at $15, you don't think I could sell that for some kind of profit after it's getting graded? I mean, I'm not going to, be able to buy a Lamborghini with it, but if I bought something for 15 and sell it for 100, I could use that 100 to buy something even better. That's how you upgrade. And the other book was a Mark Julas variant of Hulk number 377, first appearance of Professor Hulk. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Again, if you use EGS, make sure you indicate in the order form. If you send 10 or books or more, use the code We Love Press, We Love Comics, free press. And also, you got to mention, because you'll get one of the books pressed for free, and also mention the $5 off your first order as well, so you'll get both of those. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's go with today's surprise subscriber shout out. Since there are only 3 of you here, that means all 3 of you are going to get today's surprise subscriber shout out. So GTK Comic, Pino or Pino, forgive me if I mispronounced that, and Florence Chestnut, you are all 3 of you today's surprise subscriber shout out. You guys have all been here long enough to know the whole deal of what that entails, so I don't have to go through that all. Love to hear what you think about the AI art. And join my Patreon at patreon.com/WeLoveComics, because once we get to 20 people that are paid members, we got some giveaways that I want to give away. And remember, no minimum, but if for every $2 you apply, you get 1 entry. So the more you put in, better your chances are of winning, and I will ship all over the world. So thank you so much. Let's see if we can get a trade happening. Contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. I did a video a couple of months ago of all the graded books I would be willing to trade for any one of these books. But if you see something on the shelf that I've displayed, or something you've seen in a video that you think would be part of a deal to make something happen, contact me and ask about it at peacefulfeelings at yahoo.com. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Leave a comment after the beep, and don't forget, it's not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out my PGX video if you haven't seen that one yet. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Have an awesome day, everybody.